Alright, so we're back for some Skate 4, and wow, it feels crazy to say, but yeah, we're 200 hours into this game now. I am counting the time that I put into the private closed beta before, you know, even early free access came out, back when you still needed to be invited to the playtest. Yeah, but we officially crossed the 200 hour mark. I was thinking I could either do an edit or a review, and obviously we chose to review, so let's get right into it. We're gonna start off with reviewing the gameplay. You've heard me talk about it how many times now? The gameplay is fantastic. There are zero complaints when it comes to this flicking system. Doing these tricks, doing these flips, it feels amazing. It feels responsive. It feels great in every capacity. I really cannot say enough good things about this flicking system. Even compared to Skate 3, you know, we just did a Skate 3 video the other day. Went back and looked at a couple elements. I mean, it feels old. It feels clear, very stark difference when it comes to comparing the difference between these systems. And so if I had to rank this flicking system by itself, you know, I'm gonna have to dock a point for not being able to dart catch. I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. The next category we're gonna cover, you know, let's talk about the map, featuring 4 main areas between Hedgemont, Goldcrest, Market Mile, and Brick Switch, which isn't even, you know, unlocked in the game yet with any content, except for, you know, the couple event / seasonal tasks, you know, that we've gotten that they've decided to give us. The 4 areas, you know, the map's been one of the biggest complaints. This city hardly feels like a city. It feels, how does the city feel empty? How is there nothing going on in a whole city? It's truly incredible. I mean, you know, obviously there are a couple great spots, you know. I mentioned in my last video, it feels like there aren't many noticeable spots that aren't scripted. By scripted, I mean, you know, you have the giant setup mega ramp for the church, you know, we're right by it. You know, you have the giant main central tower, you know, you have the giant ramp at Impervitech. I mean, yeah, these elements are great. I mean, yeah, things like that are great, but it really does come down to the player to be able to make their own gameplay moments. But man, there's a crazy lack of something in this city. There's a lack of soul. A lack of soul in this game, a lack of soul in the city. It's not a lack of creativity to say anything, but oh, this city feels lifeless. You know, I'm skating around, and feel free to tell me what all is really popping out to you guys. I mean, you know, who hasn't skated these streets, you know, literally a million times by now? Hey, I just know I'm gonna stick with the game. You know, I'm gonna keep giving it a chance. You know, live service, that really means you just gotta kinda gotta hold on for the long run. I don't know, you gotta put all your faith in the devs. That's all you can do. So overall, you know, I think we're gonna end up rating the map, wow, a 5 out of 10 for the whole map is crazy. You know, I can even talk about the tutorial island. You know, yeah, I literally spent 5 minutes on it once when I played through it. You can't go back to it. I've seen more clips of people having fun on the tutorial island lately than stuff going on in the city. I mean, even in my videos, you know, I've skated here. You know, we were just here a couple of videos ago, but back in Skate 3, you had 3 different areas, and they felt like 3 completely unique areas. The 4 areas here all feel very similar. It's city, city, and city, and city. Brick Switch already, I will say, does look the most unique, but you know, like it's still part of the Skate 4 map. You know, it's has the exact same problem. It's still in this network. What's this guy doing? Yeah, what did I say the map was? A 5? No, we're cranking it down to a 4, bro. They couldn't even finish Brick Switch for the release. I don't even care. You know, and while I'm already getting impressed, but we might as well talk about it. And I'm coming out with a rating beforehand. The whole entire shop is getting a 0 out of 10. Okay, I'm being dramatic. I'm giving the shop. It's like, bro, oh my, I want to rate it low, but my fit's fresh. The other fits I have also worn are fresh. I'm really just wearing all black right now. But we're gonna divide it into shop and unlockables. Unlockables, you know, considering the fact that it's a free game, all the base unlockables, you know, they're free. They'll get you by. You can get some good swag going on. You know, that really comes down to the person more so at that point, be able to come up with a fresh combo. I'll say the product boxes will get a 7 out of 10, and the rest of the shop will get a 2 out of 10. After the fact that they thought it was a good idea to introduce 4 different currencies, 4 full separate currencies: San Van bucks, Rip chips, tickets, and chocolate. Why are there 4 different currencies? Look, I understand it's a Respawn EA game just like Apex. A system like this belongs on Apex. where it makes sense. It does not make sense on a skate game to have a system like this. A battle pass already doesn't make sense. I mean, you know, overall, I'm really just disappointed. That's all it is. You know, you talk about major fan disappointment. You know, we played Skate 3 for well over 10 years, and you know, you think you're finally getting what's supposed to be a substantial sequel, only to get met with live service friend slop. Friend slop is crazy, but no, this game is slop. I mean, I mentioned in the last video, you know, I don't know what they're trying to do with the game anymore, but at the same time, I didn't say it, but I also just mentioned it. It's strangely related to Apex. I mean, it's still EA, you know, it makes sense. But with the amount of currencies, with like, I mean, literally with even just the amount of currencies, just like Apex. But the difference is, it makes more sense on a battle royale shooter game, you know, than the next skate game to have a system like that. This game already does not need to be live service to begin with. That was just a dumb idea. A battle pass system, you know, it's still not a terrible idea for a game like this. If this game were offline and it had like a battle pass as your normal progression, that really wouldn't be that bad. But with this online only, when I lag on this, oh my gosh, let me know if you relate. My input lag just goes through the roof. It starts moving incredibly sluggishly. I know my internet isn't the problem when that happens, but I mean, I don't know, man. This game is just, I don't know, it's one of those, it really is a love-hate relationship. You know, I'm gonna stick with it. I'm gonna tough it out. I wanna honestly at least get 1,000 hours in on this game and make sure it's cheeks before I say it's cheeks. But this is Skate 4. This should have been the precipice of skateboard video games. And like I said, gameplay wise, it very well may be. And that's majority attributed to the Flickit system. But still, I mean, I will give them their props where it's due. It's just hardly ever due. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I've only had one problem with lag. You know, I haven't even had any problems with people griefing anymore. You know, you can just shut off everybody's objects anyways. But if anybody's annoying you, you disable any object. None of that stuff matters anymore. I wish there were a like a remove people from your replay settings, which I know there is in Skate 3. But like, yeah, key features missing. No keyframes. No little things like that. A difficulty slider straight up would have been nice, even if it just like ended up actually changing the settings that you were gonna change, which just made it like preset, just made like presets for it anyway. I mean, just like, you know, I mean, these are super nitpicky, like little things, quality of life, minor things that, you know, they could have carried over. Woo, go on. Oh, okay, I know I do nothing. But nah, man, like, it still almost feels surreal to say I'm playing Skate 4. The honeymoon phase has worn off, I will say. So, you know, this is a candid, you know, grounded in reality, you know, no gilded lenses here, right? I'm seeing the game for what it truly is now, as someone who's 99% at the game, you know, with over 200 hours. I can see the game for what it truly is. And you know, my rating that I gave from the last video 2 videos back still stands true. This game, for where it is, it's a 5.5. That's not even just talking about season 1, I'm talking about full game included. This game, Skate 4 right now, is a 5.5. That's not to say that it can't change, like they said they've done in the past, but clearly haven't. You know, as long as now they actually start listening to the community, then, you know, by the end of the year, or the end of the year is crazy, next year this game could easily turn into a, dare I say, 6 or 7. Oh man. But nah, I'm still gonna stick with this game. I'm gonna keep grinding it. I'm gonna see what content they really try to bring to it. What do they really do with it? As far as I've seen, you know, they have mapped out upwards of season 3. You know, by this point, I mean, I'm sure they're on to 4 and 5 by now, but they have plenty of content planned. I mean, you know, we really just gotta stick with it. Trust the process. and just bet on the dubs that they'll get us right in the end.